I truly hate saying this, but India tonight looks like a banana republic, doesn't it, my friends? An unserious country. While 25 innocent people died painful deaths inside a nightclub that was allowed to exist thanks to bribes, political shielding, and Goa's corrupt mafias, the owners of Birch nightclub, Gaurav and Saurabh Luthra, were able to escape from the country without any resistance whatsoever. Yes, technically these two cowards slipped out before lookout notices were issued or FIRs were registered or before the system was alerted to their identities. But the very fact that two businessmen, the poster boys of a young aspirational India, could escape to Thailand, to Phuket, a holiday destination, tells you we are a banana republic in practice. And the irony is too rich to ignore. The Luthra brothers made their getaway on an Indigo flight, the same airline that crippled the mobility of lakhs of ordinary Indians with its arrogance and corporate hubris, ended up becoming, ironically, the getaway vehicle for the owners of a nightclub that has left 25 families destroyed, 25 funerals, and a nation that once again watches the rich buy their freedom while the poor cremate their dead. This great escape by the Luthra brothers, the owners of Birch, represents the absolute worst of India, in my opinion, and the people are watching. The part of India we all dream of escaping, typical rich young Delhi businessmen who operate on jugaad and wheeling dealing, who treat rubbing shoulders with celebrities and influencers as their biggest arrival moment, and who know the loopholes in the system so well that they plan their escape with efficient confidence just 5 hours after those people burned to death in that club. Because in India, the rich very rarely pay a price, even when the price is the deaths of 25 human beings. You might say, Shiv, why blame the entire country for the actions of two businessmen? But this is exactly about us as a country, viewer. The Luthra brothers have not just exposed their own rot, they've exposed how business, politics, policing, and governance still operate in India. I wouldn't be surprised for a moment, by the way, if it is somehow revealed that these Luthra cowards have friends in politics or the judiciary. They have exposed the frightening distance we still have to travel before we can call ourselves a serious country with a serious system. A country that wishes to be serious cannot keep blaming its population or its geography for its failures or lack of efficient and uniform law enforcement where everyone has to play by the rules. The Luthra brothers must be made an example of. They do not just have blood on their hands, they carry the shame of a nation. And joining me live now from Panjim, Goa is Varsha Sharma, Deputy Inspector General of the Goa Police and leading the investigation into the club fire. Ms. Sharma, thank you very much for speaking to NDTV. What do we know right now, the latest about the whereabouts of Gaurav and Saurabh Luthra?
Actually, the two of them, the Luthra brothers, as per our tactical surveillance, we came to know that they have left India. So we've got, with the help of the CBI and Interpol, we have got the blue corner notices issued against them, and the LOC has been opened. And we are working in coordination with CBI and Interpol to get them back.
Are you also working with the Thailand authorities on this?
Yes, the concerned agencies are working with the Thailand authorities.
You know, earlier today, madam, we saw a bulldozer demolishing a structure, a nightclub owned by the Luthras at Vagator Beach in Goa. How have these nightclubs been running for so long? It's all very well to bulldoze it now, but who has been turning a blind eye so far?
I would not comment on that because a magisterial inquiry is still in process and they'll be submitting a report in a week's time. There is the responsibility and show what all lapses were there.
But Ms. Sharma, there is a reason to believe that there were members of the police force in Goa that were, willingly not taking action against the Luthras or their establishment. We've got documents, we've been reporting on that as well. Has that come to your notice?
Actually, no such a report of allegation involving bribe and police officer has come to our notice. It is just, I don't think, I have not seen any such
We'll
report
send you
or
copies.
complaint against police officials in this regard.
How many arrests, Ms. Sharma, have been made so far? Can you just give us an update on that?
Yes. So we've arrested five persons who were involved in the management and were operational managers here of the said nightclub. And four were arrested from Goa, and one was arrested from Delhi. And we have brought him on transit, and he'll be produced before the court in Goa. And regarding the owners, so we have like four of them, the Luthra brothers, one Mr. Ajay Gupta and another Mr. Khosla. All four we are working on to apprehend them. LOCs have been opened against them. Blue corner notices have been issued against the two Luthras. And so, in our investigation, any other names comes to the fore, we'll take action against them.
How were they able to get away? You know, the information suggests they hopped on a plane, Ms. Sharma, just like a few hours after the tragedy took place. How were they able to get away?
Yes, so it was a matter of 5 hours. So they must be also got the information the moment the fire broke out, and they took advantage of that. And probably yes, they took advantage of that and tried to flee the country.
Are you getting any information like we have been that maybe they've tried to leave Thailand, tried to get to the Gulf, or maybe even gone there because they've, even though we have this one picture of Gaurav Luthra going through immigration in Bangkok, there are no pictures of them in Phuket just yet. What is your information, ma'am?
I would not comment on that because the concerned agencies are working on it, and we are very hopeful to get them back.
But is there any police action against those who issued licenses and NOCs and approvals to the Luthras? Members of panchayats, etc. in Goa, some of whom have been suspended. Any police action against them?
Yes, we are interrogating the concerned persons who had given the trade license and the clearances. So we are in the process of that also to see if there is any criminal act in that.
If this fire had not happened, Ms. Sharma, nobody would have known about the criminality, the lapses, the violations on which this particular nightclub was actually functioning, which means there must be hundreds of other establishments in Goa right now, of a similar violatory nature. Is there going to be a wider investigation on such things?
Yes, certainly we are, some directions have been given to all the nightclubs and restaurants to have the requisite NOCs, to follow the procedures, to have the safety norms so that it is not, such incident is not repeated. So we are working on it also.
And finally, with the New Year season upon Goa, are there any special measures that the police is taking?
Yes, we are doing so. Some directions have been given to all the nightclub restaurant owners to ensure that all the required parameters are being followed. The safety norms are taken into consideration. They have the required prerequisite documents and the NOCs to operate their premises. So that we are, directions have been given, and we are doing surprise checks also, and would be taken action against the violator.
Okay, Varsha Sharma, Deputy Inspector General of the Goa Police, leading the investigation. It's been 72 hours. Thank you very much, ma'am, for speaking to NDTV. It's been 72 hours now since the Luthra brothers from Delhi got onto an Indigo flight. The fact that it was an Indigo flight is incidental, but it of course brings its own brand of irony, and left the country in the full knowledge that they need to get the hell out of India before the law catches up with them. It's been 72 hours now, and blue corner notices have been issued. The Indian CBI and the Goa police, like you just heard, is trying to get help from the MEA and the passports cancelled, etc. But the fact is that public money is now being wasted on rounding up these two thugs who knew the system well enough to get the hell out of India before anything catches up with them. I'm joined live now by Sohail Seth, author, commentator, marketing guru, someone with a very unique perspective on this, not least because, he is no stranger to the glamorous life, but has very strong views on this kind of brazen breaking of the law. Sohail, welcome. Good to see you. 72 hours.
Thank you.
These guys hopped onto a plane, Sohail. What stands out to me about this story is that it is both shocking as well as not so surprising that these two young Delhi businessmen, their first instinct was to get onto a flight and get the hell out of India.
So let's rewind a bit, and I'm glad you asked these questions. I will say this as bluntly as possible. After a long time, Shiv, and mark my words, I don't need the establishment, I don't care for them. After a long time in Goa, we have a decent chief minister and a very, very good Goa police. And let me tell you why they are hampered. Goa has this pernicious, and I call it pernicious for a reason, a panchayat system, where the sarpanch is easily bribable, easily manipulated by the local MLA, by people within that area. And I'll give you an example. We have a home in Goa in a particular area where a nightclub totally illegal was coming up. Guess who were the sponsors of the nightclub? Two politicians from Indore. And when I raised the issue with the sarpanch, after a lot of noise, they finally did not get the permission. But that's because I said, I will talk to Shiv or I will talk to the media. Now, how many people would want to do that? A, B, I'm glad that Pramod Sawant has decided to crack the whip. And you will see that hopefully, as he has said on Twitter, in tomorrow's press conference. So 4 things need to happen in Goa. Number 1, the tyranny of the sarpanch needs to vanish and be replaced with accountability. Number 2, let me, Shiv, and I will say this brazenly, 80% of the restaurants that are coming up in Goa, which have either Delhi or Bombay or Hyderabad ownership, to my mind, are money laundering schemes. I will say that upfront. To hell with whether people want to sue me or not, but that's the truth. They're nothing but money laundering devices. Villages like Asagaon, like Siolim, have more restaurants than you and I can imagine. People are misbehaving, people are getting drunk. There is no law and order because these people have got licenses through sleight of hand. So I'm glad that the police is now going to enforce this 10 p.m. embargo on wine stores and an 11:30 or 12 midnight embargo on bars. But let me tell you, it is the Wild West until now. Pramod Sawant has tried his best, but the BJP MPs, the Congress MLAs, the Congress MLAs, let me tell you, Shiv, you cannot imagine in Goa to get anything done in the erstwhile regime, you had to pay through your nose. Now, if you put an appeal to the Chief Minister's office or to the competent authority, they take action. But this is bizarre. And what you said is, to my mind, shocking that these two jokers have fled. They will never be accountable. My advice is that now seal their homes. Can you imagine? The mother of these two people is saying, I don't know my children's mobile numbers. This is the kind of nonsense people have to deal with. And there is no point arresting 4 employees of the Luthras. They are like easy targets. They are low-hanging fruit. An example needs to be made not only of the Luthras, but of every law violator currently in Goa practicing or, running his or her bars or restaurants. Until you do that, nothing will happen. And let me tell you, Alok Kumar is the new Director General of Police. Okay? Decent, upright, straightforward. Pramod Sawant, decent, upright, straightforward. Why is there an issue? The issue is because sometimes these people, not Alok at least, but sometimes the Chief Minister is let down by his own political parties. You tell me, Shiv, a state like Goa cannot allow an Uber into the city because of the taxi mafia that is controlled by certain MLAs. I mean, I could mention the MLAs, but why should I? Everyone knows. So I'm delighted that you're doing this. And my only appeal to you, and you always honor the appeal not of mine but of every citizen, is don't let this story go. Because what I believe Pramod will do, Sawant will do, is make an example and therefore, make sure things happen. I'll give you a small tidbit which you should play out. Do you know in every city in India, the police plays a role in licensing except Goa? So how Varsha's right. How do the police even know? The police don't know about your illegalities because they're not even part of the licensing process. I would appeal through your channel to the savants of the world that involve the local police. They have the best information on these scoundrels, if they are scoundrels.
Yeah, yeah.
Involve the local police. Make sure that the local police has a role in licensing. Make sure those norms are adhered to. Then if someone is bribed, then raise it with the DGP or raise it to a court of law.
Yes.
But currently the Luthras of the world abound in Goa.
I just hope that 25 deaths is enough to make the kind of deep change. You've just taken two examples, Sohail, for that kind of thing to happen. Like you said, that in a country where life is cheap, one wonders what it's going to take for something like this to happen. And I take your advice and your words very, very seriously when you say don't drop the story. And I promise that we won't. And that's why we take everything that you say so seriously as well. So, Sohail, I thank you for being with me on this story. I'm going to be in Goa later this month as well. And I promise I will personally be pursuing this story here on NDTV. Thank you very much, Sohail. It's a wrap here on India Matters. All the big stories will always be first here on NDTV. That is our personal guarantee.